Twitter is on life support and Blue Sky is ascendant. But what the hell is Blue Sky? Why is everyone so obsessed with it? And is it any good? How exactly did Elon manage to break Twitter this quickly? Well, we have all the info you need and more on this episode of Scroll Deep with me, benedicttown.bsky.social, the show that keeps up with internet nonsense so you don't have to. Blue Sky is the word of the week. It's the thing everyone is talking about and debating, but what the hell is it? Well, it's a social media site that was officially launched in 2023. It's brand spanking new, and it's a competitor to Twitter. And in fact, it basically just is Twitter. You open it and it's Twitter, but without all the weird changes that Elon Musk has brought in, such as making it an everything app and also calling it X. Now, we'll get to those crazy changes in a sec, but before that, I am legally required to tell you that Scroll Deep is on Blue Sky. And that's the main place we'll be skeeting from. Skeeting, not tweeting on Blue Sky. So if you were looking for a new place to yell "that's tennis" at us, then that's the place. That's tennis. All right, so someone made a Twitter clone. Who cares? Well, in the wake of the US election, Blue Sky has rocketed, gaining 1 million users in a week, and now they're apparently gaining 10,000 new users every 15 minutes. It's Scroll Deep type numbers. I mean, you can just look to the charts. At the moment, Blue Sky is #1 on the app chart, and it has been there steadily for like a week, which is pretty impressive, whereas Threads is #4, and then X, is like in the 80s or something. Part of that is that the site started as invite only to sort of drum up excitement, but now anyone can join, so it's just getting flooded. And it wasn't so much that everyone wanted to be on Blue Sky, so much as everyone no longer wanted to be on X, the everything app, because it really is quite stunning how much Elon Musk has broken that site in just a year and a half. He constantly pushes accounts he likes, including himself, to the front of your feed, no matter who you follow. I mean, it's basically impossible to open X, the everything app, and not see some of the most racist, angry stuff you've ever seen. Also, he completely demoted links. So if you're, for example, a video news service and you want to share your YouTube links, X will just completely punish you for that. And here's the thing, right? You can make a site like that if you want. You can't be shocked if a lot of people don't want to see that all the time. Like, I don't want to log onto a social media site and just be mad or sad. And there was a bit of a gold rush after the election where many users were looking to get away from X, the everything app, and find a new home. Part of that also was that Elon is like so insanely in the tank for Trump, and even displayed like a huge vote for Trump banner on the US Twitter homepage on election day, which at the very least is just incredibly tacky. So a lot of people who left X, the everything app, initially went to Threads, which is Instagram's attempt at a Twitter clone, but quickly they all realized that Threads kind of sucks. Threads is boring. It kind of feels like Facebook. Like, a lot of it is just like engagement bait. It's literally stuff like there'll be a picture of like an easy equation and it'll be like 90% of people can't solve this equation. Everyone's like, boo, this sucks. So then everyone re-fled from Threads to Blue Sky and seemed to like what they found. There's also a kind of a weird phenomenon that a lot of these extreme far-right accounts that are popular on X are now trying to join Blue Sky and are getting banned immediately, which is so wild to me because it's like, guys, you won. You won Twitter. You got the whole site. Twitter is built for you. It's a site where you can be as offensive as you want. You can say whatever you want. You can be rewarded for it. You can actually make money for it. But they still want to be on Blue Sky because the problem is these people don't know how to exist without people to annoy. That's the point of them. They're trolls. They don't want to just have conversations and just ask questions. They want to annoy liberals. It's like when the Joker is like, I don't want to kill you. What would I be without you? You complete me. And the point a lot of people have been making on Blue Sky is that when Trump made Truth Social, do you remember Truth Social? It still exists. It's Trump's social media site, right? When Trump made Truth Social, which is an actual echo chamber, by the way, a full-on echo chamber, left-wing people didn't rush there and start like talking about pronouns or whatever. Everyone was like, okay, you have your Trump space. I'm not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one was like, I have to be over there having arguments about Trump. They were like, fine. And that word echo chamber that I brought up, that is very much the term of the week. A lot of the discussion, you know, is this a left-wing echo chamber where voices aren't allowed to be heard? People don't want an echo chamber. That's why people left X. Because X is an echo chamber. It's the echoing chamber inside Elon Musk's skull. It is a site completely built around the extreme whims of one extremely annoying, lame man. And yeah, they are banning some very extreme accounts from Blue Sky, but these are not like regular right-wing accounts. Like, you can follow like The Times on Blue Sky. But if you have these accounts that are like, let's talk about skull measurements, no, they're not welcome on Blue Sky. And that's fine, because until about 4 years ago, they weren't welcome on any site, and we were all cool with that. Now, people might be quick to point out that Twitter still has vastly more users than Blue Sky, which is true, like, it's not even close. Also, by the way, Twitter actually doesn't have that many users. Like, a really small percentage of the population uses Twitter, which is so strange for how much it appears to influence culture. But like, most US adults are not on Twitter and not aware of Twitter. Like, the kind of Twitter is not real life thing is basically true, except for the recent election. Like, Blue Sky has about 18 million users and X has 259 million users. I mean, that's according to Elon Musk. Now, obviously, Twitter, or X, had an incredible head start of like decades. But as I mentioned before, right, a lot of the power users are moving away from Twitter. And this matters because a site like Twitter has loads of users. I would say around 259 million. But most of those users don't post, right? They're just there to read. They have a very small group of followers. They're just regular people. And then what you have alongside them is a really small group of power users who post loads and post all the time. You know, you come to recognize their little pictures and their usernames, right? The people who just go viral all the time. If you lose that small group of power users, as X is starting to, then the whole house of cards crumbles, because then you just have 200 million people who aren't posting, who are just stood around doing nothing, because no one's feeding coal into the engine anymore, right? It's all just lurkers. Yes, even though Blue Sky is very behind on the numbers, it feels like it's taking all the right people you need in order to like get the energy going. Blue Sky is all about customization. There is just a straightforward following tab that you can look at chronologically, where you can just see posts from people you follow in a chronological order. You can make custom feeds where you're like, I want a feed of just astronomers. I want a feed of just benedicttown.bsky.social. It rolls off the tongue, it's great. I believe also that those usernames are URLs, so that's quite powerful. So you can just type that username into a bar and it will take you straight to the, for the younger users, we used to have these things called URLs that will take you to these things called websites. We now have 4 websites, but we used to have as many as 10 back in the day. But the question to you is, how do you feel about Blue Sky? Are you on Blue Sky? Are you on X? I'm constantly never quite sure how Gen Z feels about Twitter. How do you guys feel about it?
I don't use it as much as I did.
No,
that's one thing.
I go on there if I'm like looking for memes.
Sure. That's the thing. I think the 2 elements that Blue Sky now needs to conquer are the meme accounts. They haven't got Pop Crave yet, or Poo Crave. They need both. They need the craves. Capital Buzz is on there though, so you don't need any of those ones. You've got Capital Buzz. According to my reporters on the ground, the Brazilians have made it to Blue Sky, which is of course foundational for any internet movement, is you got to have the Come to Brazil gang. In terms of predictions, I don't think Twitter is like going to be gone in 6 months. I do think if it doesn't change course soon, it's going to keep declining, because it is a really unpleasant experience on Twitter generally. We haven't even talked about how obviously they monetized blue checks, and now the first 50 replies to every tweet is just blue check bots going, interesting, nice. Or it's just like some sort of person from the site that is only for fans. You know, it'll be like a new Winnie the Pooh movie is in the works, and then someone will reply going like,
Go on. Go on.
You can fill in the rest. Hi, Crabble Road. That brings us to the secret question, which is just for the people who've made it all the way to the end of the show. This is your reward. You guys are the best, and you have the best attention spans. Yay! So the secret question this week, I think we want to keep it thematic to social media. So which god from mythology would you most like to go on a hike with? Would it be Poseidon? Who's the one with the winged shoes? Hermes, renamed Every. Yeah, which one would you like to go on a hike with? You're hiking in California, it's a beautiful sunny day. Let me know in the comments down below. 4,000 to 5,000 words. And that's tennis. I've been Benedict Townsend. This has been scrolldeep.bsky.social. Make sure to follow if you haven't already to keep up with all the latest internet nonsense. And I'll be back next time. That's tennis.